Hola a todos and welcome to Relajación y Yoga. Today, we're going deep diving, right into yoga for beginners. Is it possible to gain flexibility and strength in just 1 week? That's what we're here to find out. A lot of people think that yoga is only for flexible people. But on this deep dive, we're going to debunk that myth. We're actually going to be telling you the story of Martin, a 42-year-old man who transformed his body with yoga in just 7 days.
Yeah. Martin's story is interesting because he, like many people, he wasn't athletic or anything. He led a very sedentary lifestyle, with back pain and muscle stiffness. He felt limited in his movements, right?
Totally. So how did this 7-day yoga para principiantes course help him change that in just 1 week? I'm intrigued, to know how he managed to overcome those initial obstacles.
At first, Martin was skeptical, as many of us are when we face something new. But the key to his success was consistency. Each day of the program focuses on a different aspect of the body. Like, for example, on the first day, with postures like the mountain pose and the lateral stretch, you not only prepare your body for yoga, but you also begin to become aware of your breathing and posture.
Yeah, like laying the foundation. So what kind of challenges did Martin face in this initial stage?
For Martin, just like many beginners, the mountain pose, which seems simple, was a challenge. He had a hard time maintaining balance and correct posture. That's where the instructor's guidance comes in, teaching Martin to connect with his body and correct the posture.
Interesting. So it's not just about imitating the pose, it's about understanding it. How do you move on from there?
On the second day, spine mobility is introduced with the cat-cow pose, which, in addition to being a stretch, helps connect breath with movement. And then the warrior two pose, which, although it sounds intense, is worked on gradually to open the hips and strengthen the legs.
So how did Martin feel about these postures that require more strength and balance?
The warrior two was a challenge for him since it required more leg strength than he was used to. It was difficult for him to hold the pose for a long time, but with practice and patience, he got better every day.
That's so inspiring. And on the following days?
The third day focuses on strengthening the core, which is the set of muscles that support the spine, with the plank pose. This pose also helps to improve endurance. And for balance, the tree pose is practiced, which requires concentration and coordination.
I see. Strengthening the core is essential for any physical activity, right?
Exactly. And in yoga, having a strong core allows you to perform the poses with greater stability and control.
And then come the stretches, my favorite part. What postures are practiced on day 4?
On the fourth day, deep stretches are performed, such as the pigeon pose, which releases tension in the hips, and the downward-facing dog, which stretches the entire back of the body. These poses help improve flexibility and relieve muscle aches.
Sounds like incredible relief after the previous days. How did Martin react to these poses?
Martin, like many people who suffer from lower back pain, found great relief with the pigeon pose. He felt the tension in his lower back release.
I can imagine. And after so much physical activity, is it time to relax?
Of course. The fifth day is dedicated to breathing and relaxation. Pranayama is practiced, which are breathing techniques that help calm the mind and reduce stress, and child's pose, which is a pose of deep rest and relaxation.
A well-deserved break. How did Martin experience this day dedicated to relaxation?
Martin found in pranayama a powerful tool to manage daily stress. Child's pose, on the other hand, allowed him to connect with his breath and release any physical or mental tension.
Fascinating. And what happens in the last 2 days of the program?
On the sixth day, the sun salutation is introduced, a dynamic sequence that integrates the poses learned in the previous days. This sequence increases cardiovascular endurance and strengthens the whole body. And finally, on the seventh day, a complete routine is performed that combines all the elements, culminating with deep relaxation in savasana, the corpse pose, which allows the body to absorb the benefits of the practice.
Incredible. And how did Martin feel at the end of this week of transformation?
At the end of the 7 days, Martin noticed incredible changes. His back pain was gone, he was moving with more agility, and he had so much more energy. Those 7 days were the beginning of a new lifestyle for him.
That's so inspiring. His story shows that with a little effort and dedication, yoga can be a powerful tool to improve our physical and mental health.
Exactly. And the most important thing is that this Yoga para Principiantes course gave Martin the foundation to continue his yoga practice in the long term.
I love that. It's a journey that's just beginning. And finally, I'd like to share a quote from the book that really struck me. The body is strengthened with practice, but the true transformation begins when you decide to try.
It's a powerful phrase that reminds us that we all have the potential to transform our lives. We just have to take the first step.
I totally agree. And to you listening, I invite you to give yoga a try. No matter your age, flexibility, or physical condition, yoga has something to offer you. Subscribe to Relajación y Yoga, leave us your comments, and follow us on our social networks for more yoga tips and inspiration. Until next time.